Dunfermline is a historic city in Fife, Scotland. It was once the capital of Scotland. One of only 8 cities in Scotland, it lies just a few miles north of the River Forth near Edinburgh. Dunfermline has a mix of historical sites, parks, and is expanding greatly as connections to the nearby Scottish capital, Edinburgh, improve. The city is home to Dunfermline Abbey, a medieval abbey with royal connections. The abbey was founded as a priory by Queen Margaret in the 11th century and later elevated to an abbey by David I. It became a royal mausoleum with several Scottish monarchs, including Queen Margaret, David I and Robert the Bruce, being laid to rest there. The abbey's great nave is a visually stunning example of Romanesque architecture, and some say it is the most visually impressive in Scotland. As an ancient capital of Scotland, it has played a pivotal role in the country's heritage. The abbey, which holds almost 1,000 years of Scottish history, is a big attraction for visitors. The adjacent Dunfermline Palace, which is now in ruins, was initially the Abbey Guest House. Due to the close links between Dunfermline Abbey and the Scottish Crown, the guest house was often used as a royal residence and was luxuriously furnished. After the Protestant Reformation, the guest house was rebuilt and given to Anne of Denmark by James VI. It was here that Charles I, the last monarch to be born in Scotland, was delivered in 1600. These historic sites are a testament to the deep-rooted royal and religious significance of Dunfermline, making them compelling attractions for those interested in Scottish history and architecture. The town's royal history and its importance as an ecclesiastical centre are well documented, and it was only in 1437 that the capital status was transferred to Edinburgh. The relocation of the Scottish courts to London, as a result of the union of the crowns, further solidified Edinburgh's position as the capital. Over the centuries, Dunfermline has experienced periods of prosperity, particularly due to its linen industry, and also faced challenges such as the devastating Great Fire of 1624 and economic hardships in the 1980s. The city's historical significance is evident in its architectural and cultural heritage, including the remains of the Royal Palace and the iconic Dunfermline Abbey. It is impossible to describe Dunfermline without the influence of Andrew Carnegie, one of its most famous sons. Andrew Carnegie went on to be a prominent American industrialist and philanthropist. He was born in Dunfermline on the 25th of November in 1835. His family immigrated to the United States in 1848, settling in Allegheny in Pennsylvania. Carnegie's early life in Dunfermline was marked by the decline of the then town's linen industry, which led to economic hardship for many families, including his own. His father, William Carnegie, was a handloom weaver, and the family's struggle with poverty made a lasting impression on the young Andrew. Carnegie's experience as a child labourer and later as a messenger boy in a telegraph office shaped his work ethic and ambition. These early experiences laid the foundation for his remarkable rise in the American steel industry, where he became one of the wealthiest individuals of his time. Despite his success in business, Carnegie is also widely recognised for his significant contributions to philanthropy, particularly in the establishment of public libraries and educational institutions. The influence of his humble beginnings in Dunfermline and his family's experience with poverty played a pivotal role in shaping Carnegie's views on wealth and philanthropy, as evidenced in his essay, The Gospel of Wealth. This essay, published in 1889, articulated his belief that the rich had a moral obligation to use their wealth to benefit society. The impact of his early life experiences and his later achievements cemented his enduring commitment to the betterment of society. The Gospel of Wealth asserts that hard work and perseverance lead to wealth. Carnegie based his philosophy on the observation that the heirs of large fortunes frequently squandered them in riotous living, rather than nurturing and growing them. Even bequeathing one's fortune to charity was no guarantee that it would be used wisely, due to the fact that there was no guarantee that a charitable organisation, not under one's direction, would use the money in accordance with one's wishes. Carnegie disapproved of charitable giving that maintained the poor in their impoverished state, and urged a movement toward the creation of a new mode of giving that would create opportunities for the beneficiaries of the gift to better themselves. As a result, he argued, the gift would not simply be consumed, but would be productive of even greater wealth throughout the system. In the Gospel of Wealth, Carnegie examines the modes of distributing accumulated wealth and capital to the communities from which they originate. He preached that ostentatious living and amassing private treasures were wrong. Carnegie made it clear that the duty of the rich was to live modest lifestyles, and that any surplus money they had was best suited for recirculation back into society where it could be used to support the greater good. He edited his original doctrine so that it read, "Help those who will help themselves, to provide part of the means by which those who desire to improve may do so." Andrew Carnegie's philanthropy had a significant impact on Dunfermline, his hometown. In 1903 he established the Carnegie Dunfermline Trust with an endowment of roughly $4 million, specifically focusing on benefiting the 26,000 of Dunfermline at that time. Through this trust, Carnegie funded various public buildings and initiatives in the town, including the creation of the Appin Crescent Park and Glen, reading rooms, bowling greens, clinics, a college of hygiene and physical education, and a music institute. Additionally, he gifted the Appin Crescent estate to the people of Dunfermline, further contributing to the town's development and well-being. His philanthropic efforts in Dunfermline, which continued to support the town long after his departure, left a lasting legacy and significant improvement to the lives of its residents. In 1883, Carnegie donated £8,000 to build and stock the Dunfermline Carnegie Library, which was the first ever Carnegie Library. There were a total of 2,509 Carnegie Libraries built between 1883 and 1929 worldwide. Of those, 1,689 were built in the United States, 660 in the United Kingdom and Ireland, 125 in Canada, and 25 others in various countries including Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, Serbia, Belgium, France, the Caribbean, Mauritius, Malaysia and Fiji. Today in the United States, about 800 of these libraries funded by Carnegie are still in use as public libraries. In 1888, two of his pals from Dunfermline, John Reed and Robert Lockhart, first demonstrated golf in the US by setting up a hole in an orchard, before Reed went on to set up the USA's first golf club in the same year, St Andrew's Golf Club in Yonkers, New York, with Andrew Carnegie becoming one of its first members. The city chambers were built in 1879 and today is a Category A listed building. The city chambers served as the headquarters of the Royal Borough of Dunfermline until 1996, when it became the home of the local area committee of Fife Council. The building is an example of French Gothic architecture and is known for its oak hammerbeam roof. It also houses a clock tower and used to have police cells in the basement. In addition to its administrative functions, the city chamber is used as a venue for marriages, civil partnerships and the local registration office.